2 days ago, the university president tweets, huge announcement coming tomorrow. And everybody's like, oh, we were wrong. Like, we're so sorry. Willard's coming back. We're such pieces of shit. We're so sorry. You know what the big announcement was? Kermit the Frog is the commencement speaker. It's the rundown. It is Thursday, March 27th, and it is me, it is Clem, and it is Tommy Smokes. And we are brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. It's tournament time, and ordering Pardon My Cheesesteak for your game day meal or late night eats is the best play call you can make, Clem. Pardon My Cheesesteak offers a wide variety of cheesesteaks, loaded fries, and popular desserts, all delivered right to your door so you don't have to miss any of the action from your couch. Pick your favorite cheesesteak made with thinly sliced steak, melted provolone, mouth-watering cheese sauce, and caramelized onions on a toasted hoagie roll. Or, Tommy, you can order the popular Big Cat combo and get your choice of a cheesesteak, fries, and a drink. How do you do it? I'm glad you asked. You go to pardonmycheesesteak.com and order with PMC20 as your promo code for 20% off your order. Let me say that more clearly. You go to pardonmycheesesteak.com and use code PMC20 for 20% off your order. Guys.
It's a great food day today, Nate Dogg. It's opening day for baseball. It's the tournament. You kind of get that little window where you can put your order in, and then you're eating as you're watching your team potentially play their first game right into the tourney, leftovers, and go back for more.
I was about to say we were supposed to lead off with the LeBron Stephen A. Smith thing. Can we quickly lead off with I love like Major League Baseball. God bless him. And they always get made fun of for being like behind the times and this and that. There's a lot of days you can make opening day. There's so many days. Why the day of the Sweet 16? Or is it like two competing leagues, like not trying to, like, I'm not going to budge, you're not going to budge, so they just have Sweet 16 and opening day on the same day? What are they doing? I think Sweet 16 is always today. Opening day is not always the same day, though, Clem, is it?
No, it's April sometimes. Sometimes it's the end of
Right.
March. Sometimes it's a week earlier in Japan at fucking 5 in the morning when no one's watching, which is exactly what happened this year. Out of all the, I'm trying to think, like, so you have Major League Baseball is like the idiots that are like run by money. FIFA and the Olympics, they're like the cunning dickheads who are run by money, but like they have no heart. Baseball just seems dumb with all their decision making. And this is just, and Clemmer blogged about this actually, and he was like, there's really a lot of the games are at 4 o'clock today, so they should be done by the time the Sweet 16. But like, I think Paul Skeens is pitching at 7, which would be
Yeah.
like a sweet, like, oh, I want to watch Paul Skeens, but there's other very important college basketball games at the same time. So if I'm eating my part of my cheesesteak and can only watch one, if I only have one screen available to me, I'm going to probably choose the playoff game. So absolute buffoons. I imagine Tommy agrees with this.
Yeah, I've never felt less like it's opening day than I do today. Like it's March 27th. It just feels early. I know they've been starting late March, but I feel like the 27th is specifically early. Maybe it's because the Yankees went like late in the like as far as they could go, like in terms of the World Series. So it feels like the offseason wasn't that long, but I mean, when I was a kid, like you wake up, it's like it's opening day, let's go. I did not have that energy today. It's like
Bro,
it's opening day today. What? It doesn't feel right.
it's always supposed to be like April 3rd and the
Yeah,
birds are chirping outside. It's a random Thursday that it feels like it has no juice. The Dodgers are already 2-0. They go to Japan, they win 2 games, they come back, they play more spring training. I don't understand how that happens at all. That blows my like guys are cut between opening day and new opening day. The whole baseball thing. But I am going to try to be a better baseball fan this season. The Nationals got me very into baseball. Like I was out on baseball. The Nats got me back into baseball during college. We were good for a while. And then the Nats stink again. I still follow, but I don't like tweet about them or watch every game. I'm going to try to be a better Nats fan this season.
I was every opening day or this week, me and my dad send each other our season predictions for all the divisions, playoffs, and
Oh,
so I
wow.
was earlier going through like a lot of the rosters. There's a lot of fucking names I don't know. Like I've been
Mhm.
pretty keyed in on just like, I watch every Yankee game pretty much, but like if they aren't playing, like I'm not gonna tune in. NFL. I'll watch the Bucks and the Steelers. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch the Pirates and the Rays play each other, you know? I would put the Yankees as my number one team, but I'm pretty keen on Yankee baseball. I would like to be, but I say this every year. I'd like to follow more random baseball, maybe do some DraftKings, daily fantasy or like just regular betting, but I I think I'll end up just watching the Yankees and nothing else.
So middle school and high school, I knew every player on every team in every
Oh, yeah.
league because I played video games nonstop. So I knew everything and I read the newspaper and the box scores. Like I was so tapped in. And fantasy, I played every sport fantasy. Playing fantasy NBA has made me pay way more attention to the NBA and know a lot more players. I might do a quick fantasy baseball draft today just so I'm a little more in tune.
I am on my fantasy draft, and I think it's the 24th year, and I thought about just killing it. I'm just commissioner. It's not a lot of work, but it's more work than I should have to do, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to care about anyone outside of the Mets if I don't do this league. So that's why the league survives another year. But Tommy, I'm right there with you. Like, I'll be like, who the fuck is this guy? And someone who actually follows me was like, that guy's like a top five MVP candidate.
Dude,
No
Yeah.
clue. And I would love to see the research on it. I'm going to blame Moneyball because that's just what everyone does. I
mhm.
feel like players are more disposable these days, where it's like you get these guys, and if they don't do exactly what they want, they're right out of baseball. Where back in the day, maybe the stats weren't as important, or they didn't really have different like ways to go after a certain strategy, so players stuck around longer, and you kind of got like a vibe. But I thought this was because I'm old and out of touch. But if Tommy, you're young and I guess in touch with like this shit, so and you're a baseball guy. You're a legit baseball
Yeah.
guy at the company.
Yeah, I do worry, like, dozen trivia, like, because a
Yeah.
lot of the questions are like 2000, the aughts and the teens, and like I know all those very well from following, but like, dozen 10 years from now, dozen season 17, if we're asking like early 20s MLB questions, I don't know how good I'll be.
Dude, Hubs and Clemmer will be having the most heated argument of all time. It should be on the Maury Povich show about a player that I've never heard of. And as you said, Clem, he'll finish like fifth in MVP voting last year. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't think sports have passed us by. I don't. I think I, there's something that is happening in sports, as you said, Clem. We're not the old people. They're too young.
I do think part of it was, and one of the things that you were saying when you were like growing up, reading the paper, yada yada, like watching baseball tonight was something you did every single night,
Mhm.
and you got your fix through that way. Now that doesn't exist because nobody really watches ESPN anymore. Brent Rooker, by the way, Brent Rooker. I'm like, oh, this guy is like high on my fantasy board. I'm like, who the fuck is Brent Rooker? 30 home runs his rookie year, 39 the next year.
Yeah.
No clue he existed until, a week ago. It's crazy
All
how
right.
that works.
I'm signing up for a fantasy baseball team right now. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna be more in touch with fantasy with the sport of baseball.
I was
On
I would used to be the greatest fantasy baseball player of all time. In high school, I went 22 and 0 and won the championship. Like it was week longs, and like I was so locked in where it was like I was the dynasty. And now, I mean, I think if I don't want to do a fantasy baseball league. If I did, I don't know how I'd do.
And like I do feel, Tommy, you said that doesn't feel like opening day. You're right, and I don't know if there's anything Major League Baseball can do about this, but I feel like I'm getting more. It's opening day from fans that I'm like on social media. I'm not getting any good like hype videos or any other kind of like. I don't know what else you could do to hype it up more. But even like I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just throw whatever the 1 o'clock game is on in the background as I'm working. There's not a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah,
So it's like,
starts at
why
three.
don't you just have a 1 o'clock game or like a handful of them, and then when there's like a crazy ending in one of them, everyone watches because everyone has like that baseball fever in the beginning of the season, and then the fours and then the sevens, and that's the way it used to roll. And I used to blog this all the time. Is I think for the first like month of the season, they should try to get like one afternoon game. Even if you're at work, you're watching it on your fucking screen, or you're watching the game cast, or you have something to bet on at least. And I don't know. I just feel like they're a bunch of buffoons who don't know how to run those. Remember when they talked about this on the dog walk this week? Remember when COVID struck and fucking they like were just arguing about money the whole time, and there would have just been nothing but baseball on TV. And instead, they fought and fought about money, and we were all watching Korean
Forgot about
baseball. We
that.
were such
Yeah.
like needed anything in our lives, and they ended up having a 60-game season that everyone completely dismisses now, like 5 years later. It's crazy to me.
Any
Who won that World Series?
The
Dodgers.
Dodgers, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even.
any bold takes? My two is I think the Pirates and the Blue Jays both make the playoffs. Looking at their rosters today, and I'm going to take the Dodgers to win the World Series because I think they might set the win record. Like they're just ridiculous, obviously.
They're freaks.
Uh,
I don't have anything, Tommy, because again, I look at these rosters and don't know who the fuck half these guys are, So I
Yeah.
know people say the Pirates might be better than you think. Fuck it. Like Give me the Diamondbacks are going to be a sneaky team. Like you could just say that about
Yeah.
the Diamondbacks, right? The
Yeah.
Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays were made for this sneaky team label, I feel.
Yeah, man, Diamondbacks are such a cool team to take. I've always been a big fan of their colors. How are our Rockies looking? No, you can't win at
Bad,
Coors
really
Field,
bad.
right? Yeah.
I know, yeah, but Rockies are
Um,
bad.
Give me the most forgotten team in baseball, the Cincinnati Reds.
Mm.
Terry
Stupid
Francona,
is
manager
that
now.
he must be in his 80s.
Uh,
He was managing when I was a child.
yeah, he's probably early 70s, maybe.
I'm putting a bet in right now live on the pod.
I was only 65.
Reds to win the NL Central. That's how much I believe. That's all I need to hear is Terry Francona.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm
Love it.
sold. Terry Francona. I'm betting right
Hey,
now.
add one extra unit for me. Add 10 more
Okay.
dollars for me. Thank you.
Okay, sold.
By the way, I'm on a heater on the DraftKings Sportsbook betting props for NBA. I've won like 12 out of my last 15 bets. They're all $10 bets. It's amazing. Huge heater though. Alex Sarr, just unbelievable to bet on. Um, Topic two, we can talk Stephen A. Smith and LeBron if you guys want.
Sure.
So they're in a fight. See, I'll just read the Greeny headline. I think it's one of Greeny's finest. Stephen A. Smith responds to LeBron by making it clear he does not wear tighty whities and that he was ready to swing on LeBron during their confrontation. So that was funny this morning, waking up seeing that Stephen A. said that if LeBron touched him when LeBron confronted him on the sidelines, Stephen A. was ready to swing on him. It's opened up the world of memes. The video of Stephen A. boxing in slow motion is very funny. I mean, LeBron is the closest we have to like a modern day gladiator. He is just a wrecking machine. Stephen A. would be broken in half. He would look like Mick Foley after being tossed off Hell in the Cell. I love Stephen A. because he's in on the bit, but like he always knows how to take it to the next level. But he's like respected at the same time. I don't know. He's such an enigma. I really like Stephen A. Stephen A. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile. He's gonna do this LeBron thing forever. I didn't even think him and LeBron had beef. I thought it was more of a Skip Bayless thing. And now it's funny that Skip can't even get a mention from LeBron. LeBron's also throwing Windy under the bus, saying this guy wants to be my best friend, and it's fucking weird. Uh, what do you got on Stephen A. versus LeBron, my friend Clem?
I fucking just hate this shit. We are in the worst part.
Oh,
I just like I understand what it is. Hey, each their
yeah,
own. But like,
entertainment.
yeah, the first takeification of like the media and sports, that's another reason why I'm just out on it. Like, I don't even want to turn on ESPN and now all the other, I think, sports channels just do the same shows now for the same reasons because it gets ratings or at least it gets like clicks on the internet. But that was the bet. Like, LeBron's just gonna keep falling in Stephen A's trap, and it's like a
Yeah.
Chinese finger trap. The more he fucking pulls, the tighter it's gonna get. That was the best thing that ever happened to Stephen A's career. I know he signed that ESPN deal like pretty recently. I feel like if he hadn't signed it by that point, he probably could have gotten like another 50 million from ESPN because he's just gonna keep referencing it, bringing it back. And there's a world where the big cat rule is invented, where he's allowed to hit one person a year. LeBron, as an NBA player, he just fucking hits Stephen A. He explodes, and we never have to hear it again. And like the people like Skip is like shit. I have to kind of watch out what I say because I might get killed by LeBron once he gets reset and gets his free punch next year. So I wish he punched him. Too bad he didn't. I never thought Stephen A. were tight. Stephen A. Smith has no tighty whitey energy though. Definitely like
No.
silk boxer energy at the very least. Boxer briefs.
I love this. Like, I love that we have a rivalry between LeBron and Stephen A. out of nowhere. Like, right? I actually,
Yeah.
I think it was Jack Mack that tweeted like he's woke that this was an NBA like setup to have LeBron versus Stephen A. right before the playoffs. Like, I liked. I don't know. It's a fun storyline. I did think it was funny that Stephen A. was like, once you retire, like, I'm never going to talk about you. No one's going to talk about you. Like, he's still going to be like one of the two greatest players of all time. I think people will still be talking about LeBron after he's gone. But yeah, I hope the Lakers making a deep run, I think would be good for basketball. Like LeBron, Luca, one of his last rides. Maybe we get Bronny James getting some playoff minutes. Like, give me Lakers Celtics or Lakers Knicks or something to get the juices flowing. Or Lakers Cavs. Honestly, the NBA is set up really well. The Lakers make the finals and either get Lakers Knicks, Lakers Celtics, or LeBron versus Cleveland. Like, that would be. I'm there. I'm seated.
Do I have to go on to the second live bet and run down history and bet the Lakers to make the finals? By the way, Reds plus 550, Nate Dogg. We're looking pretty good with that. I'm happy with that.
I love it. And we have multiple units on it.
Yes, multiple.
Wow. Tommy, you want to join us on the Reds
I,
bandwagon?
I would bet the Pirates. The Pirates are my NL Central pick. What are those odds? Probably plus 1,000.
That's probably pretty decent. The Reds were
I
third,
Yeah, I don't think the
plus
Pirates
seven
have the.
hundred.
I don't think they have the lineup to compete. And
O'Neal
outside
Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes. Those are three names that I know.
Brian Giles,
No,
that is,
Brian Hayes.
uh, is Brian Giles still in the league?
No,
No, he's a big dozen answer though. You'll get him like
yeah,
three times a season on the dozen.
Him and Bob for a music question.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The big two. Next topic. Do you want to talk Kevin Willard situation?
Yeah, so Nate, I want you to set us up for this. Like Tommy was saying, he needs like a refresher. I know like the Villanova hiring or like, and I don't know exactly what it is, but you give us, kind of like the lay of the land as well as your take and the fallout from everything that's
Okay,
going on.
I'll keep it short. Kevin Willard is the head coach of Maryland basketball. He's a average coach. Like he's nothing great. He's nothing bad. He's kind of just like your average dopey white bald head coach in college basketball. Last week, before the tournament started, he was asked about his future at Maryland because he's not under contract. And he kind of went off on the Maryland athletic program and the AD who just quit and went to SMU. And he was like, I don't even have an AD to talk to. The college didn't give me enough money to compete. The NIL deal isn't what it should be. He's like, I want to build a national relevant competing program at Maryland. They're not giving me the resources to do it. And at the time, this is a week ago, everybody's like, wow, very honest answer. We don't see that a lot from coaches. As it turns out, he was, this is all conjecture or rumors, but it's like smoke where there's smoke, there's fire. He was negotiating with Villanova to be their new head coach while saying this. So he was kind of just like trashing University of Maryland, blasting them, putting everything that he didn't like about them on blast. People thought it was like, oh, is he trying just to get more money from Maryland or like what? Basically he's just an asshole, and he was never going to stay. He was always going to Villanova, and he has a gripe with Maryland, which I think is fair. I think people aren't giving him credit for that. If what he's saying is true, which means there's been way more arguments and disagreements behind closed doors, and it boiled up to the point he said it publicly. But the fact is, he said it publicly while coaching a team to the Sweet 16. So now for the last week, while coaching the best Maryland team in a decade, it's been like this fucking snake doesn't even want to be here. He just used Maryland for leverage to get more money from Villanova. And now all hell is breaking loose. We don't have an athletic director. Our basketball head coach is saying the athletic department doesn't know how to use NIL money. They're not making enough money. He wanted to have like a Christmas party with his team, and he was told no because they didn't have enough money for it. And he also allegedly hates the football program because we have this coach named Mike Loxley who they made like the face of athletics, but he fucking sucks at coaching. So our football program stinks. Our basketball coach is begging for more money, and they're telling him no. So now Maryland Twitter is just in a tizzy because it's just our entire school is falling apart. And the best part of the whole thing is 2 days ago, the university president tweets, huge announcement coming tomorrow. And everybody's like, oh, we were wrong. Like, we're so sorry. Willard's coming back. We're such pieces of shit. We're so sorry. You know what the big announcement was? Kermit the Frog is the commencement speaker. I mean, we throw around the phrase like read the room or like tone deaf. Bro tweeted, huge announcement coming tomorrow. And then they released a video of Kermit the fucking Frog. While our
I mean, that's a pretty big get.
True. That is a big get.
I didn't know he had that in his bag, Kermit. I didn't know he was a commencement speaker. So that is a decent get. But yeah, my bigger take on this is like I'm more surprised. I mean, I know Villanova basketball is like, legendary, but to me, like, especially in the NIL world, like I'm surprised that that's viewed as an upgrade. Where like Maryland is a huge Big Ten school. Villanova is
So
a pretty small private
Villanova,
school in Pennsylvania. I know they only focus on basketball, but
that's it.
like
I
that's why.
think I think some of it is ego from Willard, and I think that's why he hates the football program. Is who'll be the man at Villanova if they're good. When
True.
you're in the Big Ten and you're funneling, and also football makes the lion's share of the money. Even if you're Maryland and you're not a very good football program, I mean, we did go to three straight bowl games. That's a lot of money. You get Big Ten Network money. So you can be the man at Villanova if I think at Maryland, he wanted to be the man. And they were like, no, football is the man because they make all the money. And he's like, well, oh, the snaky part, I forgot about that, is he makes all these demands about, I need more money, blah, 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 blah. The rumor is Maryland's like, hey, you're right. Like, we do need to give you more. We'll give you everything you want. And then he was like, oh, I'm still gonna leave anyway. And that's what people I left that part out. That's what people are most mad at. It's like we gave him what he wanted. He then trashed the university and he was never planning on staying. And we have the biggest game in a decade while this is all going on.
So that part is why I could understand like the vitriol. It's like you kind of get stuck with it, caught with your hand in the cookie jar or something like that. But at the same point, like the other word you could use for Maryland after that Kermit, it's an unserious franchise, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, as a Mets fan, we had years and years of this. The Knicks, same thing. The Giants are doing this as well. A lot of my teams, and you're like you guys are reaching rock bottom at a alarming pace. It's college football. College football ruined everything. Back in the day, we had the Big East. We cared about college basketball. Now no one gives a fuck about it, and every football programs just run everything. You guys are in the Big Ten. Syracuse is in the fucking ACC. Nothing makes sense. Just give me back the 90s, early 2000s, Big East, ACC. Lines made sense. All the football made sense. Now the SEC is 100 teams. It's fucking garbage. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm very against the realignment too. I can't keep track of who's in what fucking conference. It's
Tommy,
Arizona, Oregon not being a Pac-12 battle last week was like, what?
do you know who won the Big Ten in football last year, Tommy?
Ohio State?
Oregon.
Oh, right.
Like, like it's great. Teams in the Big Ten now: UCLA, Washington, USC, Oregon. Like it does not make, and then all the rest: Rutgers, Minnesota, Iowa, etc. It's ridiculous.
Who won the national? Oh, Ohio State won the national championship.
Ohio State did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Oregon went 9-0 in Big Ten.
Right.
Nate Dogg, I feel like there's one person that could fix all your ills, but I don't think he has any interest. I do think there's one person, the one guy that could make everything all right, if SVP became like the GM of the athletic director or whatever the fuck that would be considered. I feel like he has like the rationale for it. People respect him. He knows his shit, but I think he's pretty fucking happy with his ESPN deal.
Yeah, so we've been kind of a clusterfuck since we were a bankrupt university. So we had to join the Big Ten, leave the ACC, join the Big Ten because there's so much more money in Big Ten than ACC. We did that. And it's like, all right, if you're going to do that, you can at least make the programs better. We just haven't been better at anything. Academically, actually, very good academic school. Academically have gotten better. But sports, the things that actually matter, not better. And there's been no real leadership at the top. It's just been one mistake after the next. And if we get a guy like SVP to right the ship, it would immediately like just bring credibility back to everything. They honestly need to do a huge splash like that. Like a Coach K, like it has to be like a ginormous splash. Otherwise, we're just in purgatory forever.
The thing is, you guys are in the fucking Sweet 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it could be worse.
Oh, he's going to take 3 players with him to Villanova, and we don't even have an athletic director to hire a new coach. Also, the fact that the portal and coaching carousel is open while the tournament is still
crazy.
going on is insanity. Like,
But I mean, that's the case for all sport. Like NFL happens during.
They got to change it. They got to change it, Tommy. We need a new head coach as of a week ago, and we're still playing basketball, and every other coach is being scooped up, and we're just over here with no AD, coach coaching a game tonight who's already signed a contract with another school.
But that's not official, right?
I mean, the ink is not dry yet because he's still under contract at Maryland. The rumors are he didn't even go to team dinner last night.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
It's crazy. It's madness.
So, listen, I've kind of hated college sports ever since they killed my beloved Big East. And I'm someone who kind of loves to see the chaos all happen in these. I was always hoping that, like, when the BCS, it's like, or the playoffs was 4, I'd always want the 15 to be like under, like Florida State last year was like, mwah, it was perfect for me. I loved it. And all the chaos that ensued. This is kind of like the college basketball version of it. A guy who is gone, it just shows how broken the system is at its core, right? There's no reason this should ever happen. And the fact that it's happening it's completely fucked. It's incredible. Like, what if you guys make the Final Four?
No, everybody in the world should be rooting for a
Yes.
Maryland win tonight so we can get another week of this. It's like it's crazy, and it's he brought it on himself by doing the press conference last week. He's
Mhm.
not like I can side with him a little that something must have happened for him to say it publicly, and if not, he's the biggest piece of shit ever. If he really just wanted to trash the university right before the tournament, just so like Villanova. I mean, so people are saying he wanted a reason to publicly be like, "This is why I left to go to Villanova," but there was the timing of it is just a dickhead move. You can do that press conference after you finish coaching the team. You don't have to do it before the tournament. And now Villanova, they're not even bringing in people to interview. People are saying, "How do we know he's actually leaving?" They haven't interviewed a single fucking coach. That's how we know.
That's like the Providence coach a couple of years ago, where like
And
he was had his
Cooley,
house on the
Yeah.
market. He's like, no, I'm happy here. And they're like,
yeah,
dude,
it's
your
like
house is on Zillow.
it's like spotted at the Philadelphia airport. It's the
Yeah,
it's the fucking thing. So yeah, we play tonight against the Florida Gators.
get your part of my cheesesteaks, sit back, relax, and enjoy some tourney action.
I it does. I mean, we're already under. Obviously, Florida's really good, and we're already underdogs. A win would just be so awesome for so many reasons. What do you even do? Like he's gone, and he's just gonna coach. I don't know. The whole thing's crazy.
Wasn't there a coach last year who was like fired and he kept coaching the team and they made the tournament? There was something weird like that
Yeah,
too. I
Yeah, I
remember.
think it was
So
like a mid-major or something.
yeah, it was a
yeah.
mid-major. So any kind of quirky shit like that, I always get behind. So yeah, by far the most entertaining scenario is Maryland somehow making the Final Four or the goddamn championship. The guy, they win it all, and he goes to Villanova because I think at this point it's broken. I don't
Well,
think anything you can do to keep him around. He's probably
right.
just like fuck you guys because of something that he just has a shitty boss. He doesn't like his boss, and he'd rather go somewhere where he likes his boss and has a better setup. Nothing wrong with
What's
that.
crazy too is he's coached for like 18 years. The best he's done is this year. It's like one sweet. He's not even that good of a coach. I mean, I think he's better now with NIL. He's like one of those type of people who like he's better at buying players and stuff. The whole thing is
So then,
crazy.
to his point, strike while the iron's hot. Like if this is his
Right,
best year,
Yeah, get the
right.
fuck out.
It's just the way he went about. I'm never gonna like completely hate someone for taking more money somewhere else. It's his trashing of the university while still coaching the team. That's the crazy part.
Not going to the
Um,
team dinner is wild if that's true.
Yeah, if that's true. It's cool now that we have someone to like really hate. Like having someone you really, really hate is good for a university. Like something to rally around. Like we all just hate this guy now. So that's cool.
Chief said it. Bring hate back. Like when the Yankees and Red Sox, when that rivalry
yeah.
was cooking, it was a beautiful thing. And instead, now you have all this grab assing in the modern sports world. Unfortunately,
Yeah. So that's your Thursday rundown. Basketball all weekend. The Rico bet still going on. Rico against BYU. If you don't know it, if Alabama makes the Final Four, Rico flies first class to the Final Four in San Antonio. If Alabama does not, he takes a 50-hour bus ride. I think he quits halfway. Like a 50-hour bus ride to San Antonio is hell on earth. Uh, Opening day is today. Yankees Mets. I'm sure. I mean, this is Frank the Tank's time to shine. He's in a very good mood today. Let me tell you that. Like
A lot of
very
confident Met fans out there. And I don't know about Clem, but Clemmer walking around the office today,
good.
like trashing the Yankees as if like the Mets are like, obviously the Mets will be good, but like he's acting like they're the Dodgers. Like the Yankees and Mets are in somewhat similar spots. I mean, our failed closer is their opening day starter. So I don't know how many shots Clemmer could be taking at the Yankees, but they are. That's all right. We'll see how Juan Soto's
Wait,
hamstrings hold up this year.
Tommy, how do you explain Clemmer trash talk? Because it's not like busting balls with the boys
No, it's
trash
like
talk.
way too serious, way too quick.
Yeah, he's so literal and serious about everything that he's impossible to argue with because he just dismisses anything you say. He's
Yeah.
I, I don't know. Me and Tom, you're in a Yankees group chat together. So I do root for the Yankees because I like talking Yanks ball with Tommy and Hubs. Hubs does not like that I'm a Yankees fan now, but Tommy seems to not mind it. If you have a Mets chat, I can hop into Clem. I would love to root for the Mets as well.
We
No,
have
then you're out of the Yankees chat.
yeah, you can't be in both. We have the We Gotta Believe chat, which it's usually just me asking Meek Phil like different things that I don't know
Oh,
because I
I
don't
don't want to be
bother
in
us.
that.
You
No,
don't want to be
me.
with Meek? Okay, fair enough.
No, that's too much. That's too much. I bet that group chat is just buzzing all night. He's like, "Hey, you see this 6-4-3 double play in
No,
the
no.
Padres game?"
We do have I mean, there's confidence on the Mets side. Maybe me, like I probably I think I predicted the most wins out of it, but like everyone's like, is it World Series or bust for the Mets? I'm like, how can it be World Series or bust when you're to get to the World Series, you would beat the greatest team in the history of sports, according to everyone, with the Dodgers. And then our division is, I'd say, easily the best in baseball with the Phillies and the Braves in there as well.
And the
So
Nats.
and the Nats, yeah, the baby Nats are nice, and the Marlins are just straight up a fake team with creative players, but they always give the Mets trouble. So it's like you really can't win no matter where it is in the division. I have to say, I have noticed a lot more ever since the Soto signing. There's been a lot of Yankees fans who are like, if I reply to something, I'm getting in a like you just get like sucked in, and they're just fucking shitting on the Mets, shitting on Juan Soto. It just is what it is. It's fun though. Again, hate is a good thing
Yeah.
with sports. So I have to say the Yankees fans are starting to act a little more like the Mets fans, where we would talk about them without them bringing us up. But that's just what happened. I mean, the Juan Soto thing was a fucking seismic
I've always
shift.
talked about the Mets without them bringing me up. So
That's true.
yeah, my
And this
hate will never go away.
Nate, do you know my favorite thing about this is that Tommy Smoke's mom is a Mets fan. I met her at the
Yeah,
One
I
Bite
forgot about
Festival.
he
Yeah.
hides that.
He
He
hides
hides
No,
that.
I don't. So actually, funny story. The other day, my mom and dad, they're down in Florida, and they took three of my little cousins to the Yankee Met spring training game in Port St. Lucie. They had like front row seats, like they're on TV. And in one of the clips, my dad made like my little cousin yell, like, "You are a traitor to Juan Soto." And you can like hear it in one of the clips SNY posted. He's like, I had them boo and I had them calling Soto a traitor. So that, teaching the youth young.
That's good. No guy ever took more money to go to the Yankees over another team, right? It's incredible.
He's a despicable 31-year-old lying scumbag. But I wish him
Nate,
the best.
Nate, don't let him talk to your boy. Your boy brought you a World Series. Don't let him talk to our guy like
Bro,
that.
the funniest thing to me about Juan Soto is the fact that he has won a World Series with the Nationals and has now played on like 7 more teams since then. It's like he's already a World Series champ. Like he was so good so young, and he's just he has zero loyalty whatsoever to
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
But
He's a
I don't know.
mercenary.
Is he already a billionaire? Is he just like already?
No.
He's not 31. He's like still what, 25?
No, he's lying about his age.
He's 26.
Oh.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know if I trade this prospect for Juan Soto or that prospect." Back when he was going to move on from the Nets, and everyone's like, "The prospects you guys want to trade are like a year older than Juan Soto is right now." Like that's just the way it is. He's that young. He's 26 years old. Birth certificate's real as can be.
30, 31.
What's your official World Series prediction?
I said Dodgers, and I'm going over the Mariners. I always kind of pick the Mariners as my sleeper team. That rotation is just so good, and the AL is so wide open that I feel like if they get to the playoffs, that's a tough rotation to beat.
Picking against the Yankees, interesting. I would
I
never
don't
do
like to
that.
pick them to the World Series. I don't know, just superstition. Although I guess it doesn't fucking matter because they haven't
When
won.
you
I
text
don't
your
know.
dad, you don't pick the Yankees.
We email, and no, but we send notes.
I would
You
like
text your
get. Yeah, I was like, can I be in that group chat too?
No, I'll try to read some of the
Do you
notes.
text your mom when something bad happens to the Mets? Like, oh, that's a shame. Like if they blow a lead or someone
Only
gets
if she
hurt.
starts it.
So does she start with you? She'll call you
Yeah, she'll
guys.
start with me sometimes.
I love that. I
Can
love mom and
can
smokes.
can can we make a bet? You guys can work out a bet that if Clem wins the bet, Mama Smokes goes on We Gotta Believe.
No,
Yeah,
keeping her
there we
out of
go.
content.
We'll just
Come
keep
on.
most wins for the season. Mets versus Yankees. I think that's fair. Marty is like trashing the Mets. I saw that where
Yeah.
he's just ripping the Mets apart. It's like, all right, whatever. Like again, everyone's like, if you really think the Mets are gonna be terrible, just bet the Mets, and then you can throw your slip. I bet the Yankees under. I had no problem doing that. Like I think that's a good bet. So if Marty thinks all that, he can just bet it. Speak with your wallet.
By the way, I'm taking the Reds over the Yankees in the World Series.
Nice,
All
nice.
right.
Our Reds, baby. Tito,
19, what
Tito
was
the
that,
skipper.
1976 or something?
The big red machine. Yep.
We're back.
So back. And you know what? This baseball mattered. Baseball was real when the Reds held opening day, 1 p.m. or 12 p.m. The president would throw out the first pitch. Our beloved Red Stockings. Yeah,
Ozzie
right.
Smith doing backflips. That's the baseball I remember.
That's the Cardinals, but still,
Oh.
same sentiment. Good sentiment, though.
Yeah, red.
It is
the
red.
difference?
It's a red
Dude,
bird.
there's no difference between those teams. I guess the Cardinals are like a blue
Yeah,
blood.
the Cardinals are.
Yeah.
Cardinals are a blue blood. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the Nats. All right.
And that was talking baseball.
All right. I'm in on baseball this year. I'm in. It's a shame Garrett Cole went down, but
It is.
Well,
It's a massive
yeah.
shame.
we'll recover. We have Dominguez. We'll be fine.
I think I don't think the Yankees are screwed. Like I think they'll be a lot better than people think, or they'll have such a bad year that it sends the franchise back and they overhaul the entire organization. Which, if it means getting rid of Boone and Cashman, then fine, I'll take a year sacrifice.
I agree. Cashman, Boone. See you later.
Got to get rid of them.
Yeah. All right. That is the March 27th rundown. We will be back on Monday.